What is going on, YouTube people? Impromptu Friday night, late night for me, East Coast, 9:45 on the East Coast, almost 10 o'clock. Impromptu live. Have not done a solo live stream in I can't even tell you how long. I was just kind of hanging around, not much going on, so I figured, why not? Let's fire things up, hang out with people for a little bit. So no particular topics, nothing off the top of my head to dive into. We were in a fun spot right now with post national pre Fanatics Fest. Next week, the football season is about to start. There were some preseason games tonight. I saw the Stroud hype train is already building. Baseball's winding down. USA basketball gold medal game tomorrow. A lot of fun stuff. I did watch the games the other day. That was really the first time I really kind of like locked into Olympic basketball. Bowl is always a topic for sure. We got CT scanning nonsense, which some people think it's the end of the world. Some people think it's nothing to see here. We'll see what the sports card madness, the much ballyhooed, much hyped sports card madness interview yields that is coming out Sunday night. I saw that they left Alex Cobb in for one batter a little too long. What's up, Scott? I'm excited for Fanatics Fest next week. I did that video today, kind of just getting some precursor thoughts out on it. I think it's going to be a good show. I think it's not going to be super busy, which, to be quite frank, if that show is not well attended, honestly, that just makes it a better experience for the people that are there because it just means your lines are shorter and it's easier to get around. So, like, I want the show to do well because that's good for just everything. But if it's not that busy, I'd be pretty okay with that too, especially after fighting through the National in Cleveland, a week or so ago. That being said, the Javits Center is much more well equipped to handle that event. I don't know what New York Comic Con gets for attendance. I'm actually kind of curious. Wonder if that stat's out there anywhere. But it has to be much, much more than New York Comic Con. Over 200,000 people. So New York Comic Con gets twice the amount of people that the National does. So Saturday only ticket. I saw they just changed the hours again. It's kind of funny. I was joking about them kind of like putting this thing together last minute, and I released the video, and then like right after that they put out more information. Friday hours have now changed to 9:30. Another new exclusive set. Just you could definitely tell they are really throwing this thing together in a hurry, which I get. I think a lot of that had to go to they were kind of forced into the date of the show, and they didn't have really like a full year prep time like they would probably wish that they had. So we'll see what it's like. Josh, answer your question. No, I probably would not have bought that Iron Man that Dustin bought if I would have known. It's a great looking card. I'm not a big fan of the 9 auto on that card. The auto on his particular version just scares me a little tiny bit. So I probably would have passed on it. There's actually, so funnily enough, one did pop up on eBay last week, a raw copy with a pretty good auto. Up for 7,500 OBO, but I'm probably not going to make a run at that right now. I have 2 trips to New York City in the course of the next couple of months, and got to recoup the funds from the National as well a little bit. So we got to build the war chest back up, so to speak. So Yeah, for sure. You know, the Nationals, it's always going to be what it is. I do think, you know, I listened to Brian Gray's interview on the Jeff Wilson show, and they might be a little slow to react, but I'll be very curious to see what the National pivots to once they're done in Chicago those 3 years. I know Brian and Jeff were speculating about a bunch of different things, but if you can, both these events can live simultaneously to each other. That being said, they shouldn't be 3 weeks apart from each other, but we all know the scheduling conflicts that they had with getting the building. Um, you know, the National is going to be your I just want to go in a room full of cards. And this is not going to be that. I mean, it is going to be a little bit of that. They have 300 plus dealers. The one thing that I'm excited about is the quality of dealer. I'm not going to get on here and throw a hissy fit about the vintage guys that set up at the National. It is what it is. I do think they need to turn booths over a little bit better. There's definitely some fat that could be trimmed off that national dealer list, but I don't care if guys want to set up with their long boxes of 1957 tops, quarter commons that are beat to hell that people want to go through to put sets together. More power to you. I have no issue with that. But that being said, I am interested to see how Fanatics Fest manifests itself with a very hand-picked dealer list. They weren't just letting anyone into that show. Like, you had to fill out an application for it. You had to be approved. You had to apply a lot of documentation. I went through the application process, not to apply to get a table, but just to see what it looked like. And, you know, they had some fairly strict standards they wanted you to adhere to. They wanted booths set up a certain way. They wanted signage a certain way. They want you to present as a professional dealer in this space. So I'm interested to see, even though it might be less dealers, the inventory might be better. They keep hinting at that there's trade nights. They haven't announced anything on that. There's just my only gripe with them, and it's, once again, I don't know how much of it's their fault, but there's just still a lot of unknowns going into this show, literally a week out. Like I said, I have a VIP ticket. According to the website, when I bought it, you get early show floor access. We're 1 week away. There's zero details on what that actually means. What time do different tickets get into the building? That information is nowhere to be found. That stuff like that frustrates me a little bit, especially if I was traveling in Friday morning. You know, a lot of people are going to fly into New York and go straight to the convention center. I know someone locally that's coming in on Saturday. They're flying in early Saturday morning and flying home Saturday night from Ohio. And, you know, if you have a VIP ticket and you don't even know what time you get into the door on Friday morning, that's kind of a problem. So we'll see how that stuff shakes out. Like I said, there's going to be some bumps, but I'm going to be willing to cut them. Oh, the battery died. I forgot to plug the camera in. Please hold. Content creator fail. I'm a dum-dum. All right. Well, you won't be able to hear me, but I'll be able to keep talking. We'll see if this holds. I don't know if this is going to last or not. We'll see. See if that stays up or not. I forgot that I had switched power outlet to charge my iPad and had the camera unplugged, so it was just running off battery. Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Yeah, just kind of talk about Fanatics Fest and just, you know, no particular topics. Yeah, I mean, one day at the National, that's tricky. That is tricky. There's just too much to see. You have to blow by too much stuff. I think Travis Scott's the only release we need to sign up for so far, but that seems to be changing literally by the minute as they continue to release more stuff. When am I going on the pod with Mike and Jesse? Possibly Monday, actually. We had set up Monday as the date. I just need to DM Geo and confirm that we're still good for Monday. We had talked I talked to Geo at the National for a while. They've tried to have me on before, um, a couple different times. They've, I think I joked about this somewhere. Gio's famous for, hey, we'd like to have you on the show. Okay, cool. When? 30 minutes is how he has gone about it in the past, which is a little bit tricky for me sometimes. So, but I'm supposed to go on Monday, so we'll see. We have a time set up and stuff. Yeah, the RDJ is rare, but it's not like impossibly rare. I did see I don't remember the details of it, but I did see he picked up the Swift. One of those just sold for an astronomical sums of money. I don't know if they go south. I really don't. Atlanta was in the running and it got shot down pretty hard. I shouldn't say pretty hard, but they had a shot to go to Atlanta, not next year, but the year after. Next year, Chicago. Next 3 years are Chicago. But there was a window there where Atlanta was on the table, and they voted Chicago over Atlanta. Your problem getting the show anywhere outside of the Midwest is that the dealers vote on the locations, and the dealers, a large majority of them in its current state, anyways, are Northeast biased. So as long as that's a thing, they're going to keep voting for venues in the Northeast. Now, I heard, once again, the reference to Brian Gray interview, them reference the convention center that's in downtown Chicago. I forget the name of it off the top of my head. It's where C2E2's at. There's a lot of large shows there. I've heard really great things about that venue. As someone that drives into that show, it would kind of suck to have to drive downtown. It would suck not to have it right there at the airport. But I'm not sure Rosemont can handle the national, even as good as the setup as that is, if things keep going the way that they're going. I don't think that they care. They're not really going to give ground up. It's the national. People will travel for the national. They don't really have to care about the West Coast, to be quite frank. And listen, they literally, the national could not contain the number of people that were here this year for it, and that was in Cleveland. I don't think they're sweating cutting off the West Coast. Anyone on the West Coast that wants to go to the show bad enough will get on a plane and come to the show. It's as simple as that. And you guys have Burbank every quarter and Dallas, so you have that advantage over us East Coasters. I could potentially see it going to Orlando. I could see it going to Atlanta, but I don't think the show goes west of Mississippi. And if it does, it would probably go to Vegas. Maybe. The word on the street is that the Orlando Fanatics Fest is going to be more of a massive card show. Unfortunately, as you know, we're barely getting details for New York. We have no idea about Pittsburgh and Orlando. Don't forget, there is a Pittsburgh Fanatics event in late September at PNC Park. They've announced that it's there and the date, and that is it. There is no other details on that show. So I have no idea what that's going to look like. I'm planning on attending that because it's only 2 hours away from me. I'd be an idiot not to. But we have zero details on these other events. I'm guessing they are so focused on this, they don't have time to deal with it. But if you're having, the word is, the rumor has been for a while that Orlando is going to be like some massive 800-900 table show. You would think you would need to start getting dealers lined up for that. And maybe they are behind the scenes and the dealers just aren't talking about it. I find that hard to believe. That would never happen. The two shows simultaneously thing, I don't think would ever happen. Fanatics Fest will be talked about like Fry Fest. I believe November, Orlando. I don't 100% disagree with this, big boy. I don't know that I agree with all of it, but I get the sentiment of the statement. the Fanatics Fest and the National are not the same event. Fanatics Fest is a part card show, part athlete, photo op, autograph, part panel discussions, part corporate nonsense. Which you could say the same thing about the National. The difference here is it's inversed. At the National, the show floor is 75% dealers, 25% corporate / grading companies / breakers / nonsense. Fanatics Fest, it's the opposite. It's 25% dealers and 75% the other stuff. Actually, it might be like a third dealers and 2/3 the other stuff. We'll see once we get in the building, but just eyeballing it on the show floor map. I mean, they're going to have 300 to 400 dealers at Fanatics Fest. That's not a small show. That's a pretty good size show. I don't know how many tables they had at the IX Center in Cleveland, but it probably wasn't much more. It was probably between 400 and 500 if I had to guess. I could probably find that information out. So it's not like this is going to be some, run-of-the-mill card show. Like, this is probably going to be, I don't know, how many tables is Dallas these days? 400, 500? Anyone know? How many tables is Burbank? I know Burbank's pretty big now. I don't think so, but I don't remember specifically on the documentation. I don't like listing anything plain white envelope, so you're asking the wrong person. No, the IX Center wasn't big enough, and we knew that it wasn't going to be big enough. The issue there is that they owned Cleveland and National. That's the only reason it came to Cleveland. They knew going into that show that it was not large enough, but that was the one that they owed them from the COVID canceled one. The year the National was canceled was the year it was supposed to be in Cleveland. So they basically had an IOU out for Cleveland, and that's why it was there. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been to the Indy Convention Center. I was there in the early 2000s for Gen Con, but before Lucas Oil Stadium was there. But I would have to imagine that convention center with some tie-in to Lucas Oil could pull it off. And I wouldn't mind that, just as someone that lives in Ohio. That would be a very convenient drive to get to that show. I wouldn't be shocked at all if the Burbank show became a Fanatics event at some point in time. I wouldn't be surprised by that at all, especially now that Rob's already in business with them on the Fanatics Collect stuff, pulling inventory off. I wouldn't be surprised if they made a run at Dallas either, to be quite frank. If you told me this time next year that Burbank and Dallas are Fanatics events, I would not be surprised by it at all. What's the most valuable Star Wars auto? There is, my best guess, there is some Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher Masterwork stuff. Actually, this would be in the running. That is low numbered, that's very expensive. Another one that's super expensive. I would love to own it one day, but this card is a ghost. I forget what set it's out of. John Williams has an autographed card, a sticker auto, the composer. And then I don't know if there's a George Lucas one or not. I could be forgetting that. That John Williams one is very expensive because that card is extremely rare. Those do not pop up very often. Oh, nice. There's not, I was kind of surprised actually when I looked at the pop report on Hamill autos. There's really not a ton on the pop report. I was a little surprised. I'm actually watching, there's a PSA 9 auto, authentic auto 9 ending on eBay here in a few seconds. I'm just curious to see what that goes for. $1,200. Nice deal on that. I agree. It'll never be in Cleveland again. It's not about the square footage in Chicago, quite frankly. It's about the building itself. Ideally, I would love to see them move the autograph stuff up to that section and get rid of the open up that show floor space on the main show floor. Take all the autograph stuff, basically move the whole TriStar Pavilion to that floor. Maybe they do that next year, maybe they don't. I don't know. I spent too much. Oh, perk. Perk, perk, perk. CD Lamb to the Chiefs. Is that actually a thing, or is this just some like random Twitter rumor? I think Pittsburgh's going to be way different. I think Pittsburgh is just going to be like a small, not a small, like a 200 table card show. It's in PNC Park. PNC Park's not that big. Like they're going to have it in the concourse, probably between first and third. I'm going to imagine that's not that big of an area. Is that Kenny G? Yeah, well, like I said, I think it's going to be an interesting event. I'm very curious to see how this thing plays out. I'm very glad that I'm going. I will say that. Now, would I be going if I did not make content? I don't know. I don't know. Content is a big driver of why I'm attending this show, and is just someone that's makes content, is active in the sports card world or just collectible world in general. I have a morbid curiosity to how this event's going to play out, and I just want to get boots on the ground and see it for myself. I don't want to take someone else's word for it. I want to see what this thing is actually like in person as an attendee. That guy's having a pretty good day. Tell him to go buy a lottery ticket. Fall event in Las Vegas. We'll see. I think it's going to take them some time to kind of shake things out. My guess is that this New York show is always going to be their prime time event. And then I could see them having an opposite tentpole event on the West Coast. The Fanatics offices are in New York. Ruben's based out of New York. There's a billion people that love to go to New York City or live in New York City in regards to famous people. So I think they will always have a major event, and where they're having it can absolutely handle it. Javits, I've said it a billion times. Javits is an awesome building to have a large event in. Yeah, I basically 100% agree with you. GST Warriors. If you've never been to Javits, it is a awesome building. It is one of the premier convention centers in the country. The architecture is absolutely awesome. It's 5 floors. The place is huge, and they're only using a small portion of it. So, as I discussed in the video earlier today, they have the ability, if this thing hits, to really grow it because they have plenty of space there to use if they need to. I do not have a shop, Universe. No shop. Just a man on the internet running his mouth. What's up, Steve Dog? Oh, nice. I have a small local show tomorrow as well. Hartwell show is tomorrow. I will be in attendance. Even the Dallas show, like, I've never been. It's on my list. I don't know that I'll ever get there or not, but it feels like it's outgrown its venue tenfold over. This is a funny comment, Noah. Uh, I agree. I agree with this comment. You know, would you rather have a card show of 500 tables where anyone can set up, or a show with 250 tables, but it is the cream of the crop in regards to dealers? I'm going to take the 250 table show in a better venue, mind you. Now, if you're comparing National to Fanatics Fest, the National has a lot of good dealers. A lot of the good dealers at the National are also going to be at Fanatics Fest, so there is going to be a lot of overlap there. I mean, he was going to get a max no matter what. He's not re-signing if they don't give him a max, so it was going to happen. Really, no way around it. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the other new addition is which I don't know if I'll be able to make it or not. The Tyson Logan Paul press conference is going to be there for the Netflix fight on Sunday. I mean, we don't know for sure until we get in the building, but this is going to have way more of a corporate presence than the National. The leagues are going to have booths at Fanatics Fest. Well, you're saying Fanatics events. We don't know because it sounds like each one of their events is going to be a little bit different. Like they have multiple tiers of events. Like this particular Fanatics Fest in New York is going to be the more corporate Comic Con version in their event lineup. Orlando sounds more like a traditional card show and probably less corporate. Pittsburgh, we don't really know, but it sounds like it's just going to be a smaller scale regional show. I don't know. I know they did one at WrestleMania. I think that one was a lot of corporate and experiences. You know, I would have to imagine. I think they even hinted at. I feel like Ruben hinted at this in one of the interviews he did at the National, of them doing something around the NFL draft. Oh no, it was the MLB All-Star Game. The MLB All-Star Game is in Atlanta next year, and Ruben heavily hinted at on Jeff Wilson's show that they're going to have something for that. So I would not be surprised if there is a Fanatics event in Atlanta next year at the convention center across from the College Football Hall of Fame. That's where they did their Tops conference this past year. So they're well versed with that building. Or I'm sorry, they did it in that area. The actual Tops conference was at the College Football Hall of Fame, which I believe is across the street from the convention center in the area. I forget. So regardless, I have a feeling there will be a Fanatics event based around the All-Star game next year. Hot takes on Logan Paul in the comments. Oh, don't forget the other thing with Fanatics Fest, East Coast Nationals going on the same time in White Plains. Man, I wish I would have had the camera set up I had at the National for Atlantic City. The vlog that I would have made of us going to get pizza would have been legendary. I have 0 WNBA cards. I mean, I would love to own an AF-15. That's going to take a lot of willpower to save up the money for one. And also make sure my wife has no idea that I am chasing one. I'm going to guess anyone, you know, the hardcore are going to go to White Plains. I think anyone traveling in might hit both. It might actually, as weird as this sounds, I wonder if it actually boosts attendance at the East Coast National, because if a lot of people are traveling into New York City and they're already there, would they carve out time to run out to White Plains? And I don't know the geography of New York well enough. You know, how big of a lift is it if you don't have access to a car? You know, if you flew into town, how big of a pain in the ass is it to get from Javits to White Plains? Like, is that easy? Is it just a subway ride at an Uber? Is it a pain in the ass? Because if it's easy to get over there on a weekend, I could see people potentially maybe running out there to check that show out. Um, I honestly didn't think pricing was that bad at the National this year, to be quite frank. I mean, you're always going to have dealers that are unreasonable, but for the most part, I had no problems getting fair prices on all the cards that I bought. And you're also missing a big factor of this. A lot of people like to go to the National because of the community aspect of it. A lot of people just want to go to hang out with their friends or to make friends or to build relationships or make better relationships and just hang out and be among other people that enjoy cards the way that they do. The other thing that you're not going to get access to at local shows is the trade nights. The trade nights at the National are unlike anything that you are going to get anywhere else in the country. They were in town Wednesday night. A lot of people went Wednesday. How long before the Curry Superfractor pops? We'll see. I will not be at Burbank. West Coast travel is pain in the ass from Ohio. Yeah, they were in town for a couple days. They were there Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, yeah, 30-minute train ride, definitely doable to boat. Okay, yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if the East Coast National got at least a little bit of traffic. I'm sure there are people coming in that are like, okay, we'll do Fanatics Fest for a couple days and then run over there. Or if they do Fanatics Fest on Friday and it's a bust, they might head over to the East Coast National on Saturday. Who knows? I am not as fluent in DC cards. There's not a lot out there. Wait another couple months until Upper Deck starts cranking out DC products. The National is just fun. You could buy and sell anything. I would agree with that statement. Ran out of space. Yeah, the trade nights are a big draw. I mean, the trade nights at the National are unlike anything else. I mean, I literally sat down on Wednesday night's trade night. I sat down with Steve and Dustin and Ham. I laid out about a dozen cards, and within a half an hour, I had sold like $1,500 worth of stuff like that with basically doing nothing. Where else are you going to get action like that? And then you can walk the show, walk the room, and make deals with people and look for stuff. I mean, it is chaos. It's not even organized chaos. It is just pure chaos. But it is a sight to behold, and money is flying around everywhere. And you're not dealing with, I mean, there's dealers there, but you're not dealing with the dealer show attendee angle. It's just two guys or girls trying to make a deal on a card. So usually negotiations are much cleaner. And that is a big draw to that show. I know people that come to the National just for the trade nights and can give a crap about the show. I've been at Grand Central, but never took a train. My wife and I walked through there just to kind of hang out, but we did not take the train anywhere. Yeah, Jacob nails it with this comment. Thursday afternoon was absolutely crazy on the show floor. Yeah, I didn't see a lot of NASCAR stuff. Do you have any race used Mountain Dew patches floating around that you're looking to unload? Do you have any race used Mountain Dew stuff or any cool Mountain Dew patches? Slide into the DMs. Yeah, that doesn't seem too terrible. Shipshawana. Shipshawana, 100%. There's one Labor Day weekend. It's not even close. To me, that's the best regional show that I have within 5 hours at least. I would almost rather go to Ships. Now, if you're going for autographs and stuff, it's a different story. If you're just going for dealer tables, for me personally, it would be Ships, Philly, and then maybe Chantilly. But Ships from Cincy is probably only about 4 or 5 hours. For me, it's 4 hours from here. Great show. I thought Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday were more busy. Thursday specifically. Wednesday night preview night seemed packed at the National this year. Part of that could have been the show floor layout, the smaller building. I don't, it's hard to tell. Is the show actually busier or is it just a building that it's in? But I had talked to a lot of dealers and they all said that Wednesday and Thursday were absolutely insane for them. Some of them were saying it was their best Wednesdays and Thursdays ever. Friday itself was pretty busy. I actually thought Saturday was slower than Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then Sunday was a dream. My God, was Sunday a dream. A lot of the good inventory is going to be gone, but just walking the show floor, it was so chill in there. No, I did not. I did not. I got zero sickness from it. I got COVID. I got leveled at the Atlantic City National. I mean, leveled from the AC National with COVID. I remember I was at a Saturday night Beckett dinner and it was really loud in there and I had to talk really loud. And I left there and my throat was killing me. And I thought it was because I was talking so loud. And I woke up Sunday morning and I felt like trash. I don't know what my voice sounded like, but if you find whatever my last day of the AC National was, that Sunday morning, I got up, I recorded a video. My wife and I packed the car and we left. I asked her to drive. I fell asleep before we left Atlantic City city limits. And it's like a 10-hour, like an 8 or 9-hour drive back to Canton from AC. And I think I woke up once. We stopped at like a Love's gas station for gas, and I woke up once to use the rest to pee and get something to drink, and that was it. And then I was wrecked for like a week. I didn't like have to go to the hospital or anything, like nothing crazy like that, but I was leveled. I was exhausted. All I did was sleep. My voice was shot, everything. I remember because I work in healthcare, so whether I wanted to or not, I had to test before I went back to work, especially back in that time frame. And I remember I took the COVID test and I put the little thingamajigger in the liquid, and then you know how the thing pulls up when it pulls the line up. I stuck that thing in the liquid. I closed the lid, and that thing lit up like a Christmas tree instantly. I was like, well, guess I'm positive. I had a feeling that I was leveled. That was the second time that I had it, and the second time was way worse than the first. But everyone says the economy's going to shit. It's all going to zero. Yeah, I love Dale Jr., so. Yeah, if you know anyone, send me their Instagram handles. I'll reach out. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I just want or super expensive. I just want a cool looking Mountain Dew patch. One ended on eBay tonight, but it keeps getting shill bitted. That's the hardest thing that I have trouble dealing with is not getting distracted when saving up for bigger purchases. I had to really commit on the X-Men 1 purchase. Just be like, okay, I am not buying nonsense. Because I get distracted by stuff too easily. There's always something that I see that I want. Sunday was amazing. What in regards to what? Like that it used to be like a bomb factory and stuff during World War II and all that craziness. And, someone talked about that in a video. I don't remember who did it though. Yeah, bombs and tanks. I think it's like it goes like way down underneath the ground and stuff. It's kind of a crazy building. I don't know if I got that email or not. I do have some stuff in a Manny Ramirez registry that I just dabbled around with. No, I haven't, Simon. By the way, good hung out with Simon at trade night one night. He tried to get me to FOMO buy a Darius Garland card off of him. Bastard. I think that they are radio silent on Pittsburgh and Orlando until they get through New York, is my guess. I mean, it doesn't have to be like $100. I'll pay a couple $100 if the patch is cool. That's no problem. I don't want to pay like $1,000 for a random patch. I think I just saw the Dale Earnhardt 101 Mountain Dew patch booklet auto sold for like $800 or something. My local shows, I usually don't look for anything too specific. I'm usually more just going to get like dealer feedback, vibes, talk to people, kind of hang out. And then every once in a while, I run into a cool card. Is it raining there? I don't think so. It wasn't earlier anyway. I went and walked on one of my local trails earlier for like an hour and it was gorgeous outside. No, it's not raining. We missed all the Hurricane Debbie stuff. It went east to us for the most part. Gotta appreciate the content braver than I. It's not that scary. With the Mountain Dew car. Oh, are you coming to Pittsburgh? I didn't realize you were coming to Pittsburgh. I'll be there. I have zero problems with the booklet. I just want a cool looking patch. So, I've been to one NASCAR race. So when I grew up, my grandpa and my family's huge NASCAR fans. Um, like back in the Rusty Wallace, Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon days, like late 80s, early 90s, basically like Days of Thunder days. So whenever I was over there, I'd always watch races with my grandpa. And then I went to Michigan. It was the reason why I remember this. The Michigan race that year was the year the Jordan flu game against the Jazz. I remember I was probably, what was that, 96? I forget the year on the Jordan flu game. I was like 13, 14 years old. I remember watching the Jordan Jazz finals in the hotel room that we were staying in and went to a Michigan race. It was a lot of fun, actually. NASCAR in person is pretty cool. Plus, like, you get all like the pit pass access and stuff. Like, you really get up close and personal with a lot of that nonsense. Which, so funnily enough, so I'm from Northeast Ohio. I doubt my mom is watching this live stream, but my mom is a huge Ryan Blaney fan. Loves Ryan Blaney. Him and his dad, Dave Blaney, are from a small town in Northeast Ohio. So I actually just picked this up. I'm going to give it to her for Christmas. If you're watching, Mom, turn it off. She's not. But I just got this in the mail the other day. It's a Ryan Blaney, Dave Blaney dual auto. On card auto. So I picked this up for her because she's a huge NASCAR fan. My mom sits and watches like all the YouTube content creators that make NASCAR content. It's crazy. She's partially retired, and now with all her free time, all she does is consume NASCAR everything. Chrome blasters seem expensive. I think I saw stickers and like being like $45. I think, yeah, I do think a lot of people in AC got. I remember after the AC National, a lot of people got COVID. I did hear a lot of people got COVID post Cleveland. There was a lot of DMs and conversations, like the Monday and Tuesday post National. It feels like an annual tradition of, hey, how are you feeling today? Because I'm not feeling great. We were around each other a lot this past week. I did think Saturday I was starting to come down with a little something, but I think I was just tired, and then I bounced back as the day went on. Riker, what's up, buddy? It's got to be X-Men 1. Picked up an X-Men 1 a couple months ago. The original OG. It's not behind me right now. It's upstairs. But yeah, X-Men 1 for sure. Major grail pickup. That's the last big comic that I bought. So we got a celebrity. We got Stryker has his own Topps card. Are you going to Fanatics Fest, Stryker? Are you like breaking live on some stage somewhere or something? Yeah, I've been chasing one for a while. I got a 1.5 down at Heroes Con in Charlotte this past June. Is Topps Chrome Baseball good this year? Striker breaks. Is Topps Chrome Baseball good this year? You would know better than anyone. You've ripped a boatload of it. How's Finest been? I saw you been ripping some Topps Finest. Oh, nice. Yeah, we know nothing about the Pittsburgh show. The Pittsburgh show is a black box. We know nothing about it. Not going to Fanatics Fest. Boo. Still keeping the X-Men 1, but I rotate the back books all the time. So like right now, I usually theme them. So right now we got the little with Deadpool and Wolverine coming out, I went with the Deadpool Wolverine theme. So we got the first Deadpool. Well, we got just a cool Wolverine cover. That's the cover from the NES game. First appearance of Cable, obviously Deadpool 2. We got first appearance of Wolverine, first appearance of Deadpool. Got the sick Jim Lee silver variant cover. And then over there in front of the Sentinel, I got the X-Men 25 where he gets the adamantium ripped out. I just picked that one up at Heroes Con recently too. Whoops, wrong way. So yeah, I usually switch up the background about every probably about once a month, just kind of depending on what's going on. I'll mix it up a little bit. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I picked up the New Mutants 87 at Heroes Con recently as well. He was pretty popular. He was definitely one of the more popular ones. Yeah, I saw that too. We actually talked about it a little bit earlier, test it. Because I was joking. I did the video on Fanatics Fest and about how they're like constantly updating things with a week to go. And literally an hour after I post that email, post the video, that email comes out. I feel like I have. They have a lot of ultra modern variant covers. I feel like I've bought some stuff from them before. I just don't remember what. Nice. Um, it doesn't ring a bell, Noah. I feel like I remember seeing signage for that, but I didn't go up to their booth. I actually have. I'll be getting a comic book in the mail. Maybe tomorrow. I don't remember. I'm slowly starting to fill in the gaps on the run. I'll talk about it in a video. I haven't recorded it yet, but I want to do a video kind of running down the X-Men PC. But I got 90 X-Men 94 as part of that deal with the X-Men 1. So I want to start filling in the gaps that I have in the run. So I actually just picked up an X-Men 95 in like a 9.2 or something, a 9.4, 9.0. I don't remember. It comes, I think, maybe tomorrow. So I just want to start slowly filling in those gaps because I have X-Men 94, which is where the Claremont run starts. I have Giant Size X-Men 1. And then I have a decent chunk in the middle with the Dark Phoenix saga and Days of Future Past in the 120s to 140s chunk. I just got to figure out where I want to cut it off at least in the short term. Like, do I just want to go up to like 150 and try to fill in that first, or I want to go higher because I really like a lot of the 80s and the 90s stuff into the Jim Lee era. Like, ideally, it would be awesome to go all the way up to 300, but that's kind of crazy. So we'll see. But for right now, I want to kind of start filling in the gaps between 94, X-Men 94, and X-Men like 140-ish to 150-ish, maybe even 200. Yeah, it's a great looking product. I bought the one jumbo box. That was it. Uh, I'm hoping to get some more at Fanatics Fest with whatever they're doing with these, New York refractors or whatever. I have a feeling it's going to be an absolute mess trying to get those boxes, but we'll see. I think about 300 if my memory is correct. Perk, one thing I've learned about Perk over the years, he loves the degen. He loves the gamble on a rip, that's for sure. That is for sure. Probably wrap things up here pretty quick. We're going for about an hour. I don't really know how long I was gonna go. So we'll see what next week's gonna be an interesting week. I am tentatively scheduled probably a bunch of retail at Hartville tomorrow. Um Tentatively scheduled to be on Sports Card Nonsense Monday. So we'll see if that happens. I actually have an interview Monday night lined up that I am bringing someone on. I won't fully spoiler it. I'll save it, but someone from one of the major grading companies is coming on to have a little discussion about things that are in one of the big four grading companies that recently had some major announcements. I'm having a guest on from said company to discuss said announcement. That's lined up for Monday. I am not sure when that video will post. Probably Tuesday or Wednesday, most likely, assuming everything goes without a hitch. I don't expect any problems, but that's exciting. So that's this week as well. And then in addition to that, we'll have all the Fanatics Fest nonsense. I have no idea what content's going to look like next week. So should be an absolutely wild week. Topps Chrome Basketball comes out end of the month. I think Topps Chrome Basketball and Topps Composite Football are going to come out very close to each other. I'm still expecting Topps to announce that they have some limited release boxes of those two products at Fanatics Fest. That seems like a major missed opportunity if they don't have a limited run of boxes of Composite and Chrome Basketball at Fanatics Fest. But what the hell do I know? That's actually tomorrow. No, that'll be tomorrow's video. I've had it recorded for a couple days. I did about a 20-minute video running through um, 3 aspects of my PCs: LeBron refractors, WWE autos, and the Star Wars PC was the centerpiece of that video. So that video will be up tomorrow morning, most likely. I did pick up you'll see this in tomorrow's video. This is a banger of a card. I posted this on Instagram. I just got this in the mail this week. I just love this image. Like, just a fantastic image for a Hogan auto. He signs a lot, so I wanted to make sure that I got on card with a pretty clean auto and a fantastic image. And that's just one of the images that I think of when I see Hogan. Gotta be HGA. Good Lord. Oh, God. Don't go into politics, boys and girls. Let's not all kill each other in the comment section. Then stay tuned tomorrow. If you like seeing PC stuff, that'll be tomorrow's video. The reason why, and once I kind of hint at this in the video, the reason why you don't see a lot of that stuff is those videos perform like crap. So surprise me when that video posts. Everyone go watch it and like it and comment on it and share it and send it to a friend and your sister and your mom and your brother and whoever else. But that's the reason why you don't see a lot of that content from just everybody. That's everyone's like, how come people don't show off their cards? Because that content usually performs like crap. So just get caught up in chat, really think. Butch Lakers is all right. He's been around for a while. All right, boys and girls, I think we'll wrap things up there. We are 1 hour in for an impromptu on a Friday night. I'm going to go relax for a little bit. I got to continue to get things in order for Fanatics Fest this upcoming week. Yeah, Bush Leaguer's been around for a long time. All right, tomorrow, PC video. Sunday, weekly sports card market update. Monday, I have no idea. Interview at some point in time next week with a grading company, and unknown for the rest of the week. The back half of next week will probably just be the Wild West of whatever pops out of Fanatics Fest. So that's all I got. I'm gonna go play some video games for a little bit and then hit the hay. And if you're going to Hartville tomorrow, I will be roaming around there probably first thing in the morning. I usually go to that show first thing in the morning. So peace.